Guys, welcome back to my channel Fundamentals of Imaging. In this video, I will talk about the lung collapse, and in previous video, I have described the consolidation. So if you want to learn about the consolidation and collapse, watch these both video together. So now let's begin with the lung collapse. So what are the learning objectives? These are the recognized typical radiographical signs of lung collapse. Differentiate lobar and segmental collapse. Identify causes of collapse. Understand associated clinical signs. Recognize complications and associated conditions. And correlate imaging findings with clinical findings. So this is the most important. So you should correlate the imaging finding with the clinical scenario. So to reach the proper diagnosis. Now what is collapse? Collapse is the reduction in the lung volume due to any cause, that is the obstruction in the bronchus or pathology within the pleura. So, any cause that is causing the reduction in the lung volume, this is called the lung collapse. We can see in this image, this is the normal lung and this one is the collapsed, and these two lines are the pleura. This is the visceral and this one is the parietal pleura. Now, collapse or atelectasis. In some books, it is described as the atelectasis is the small area of collapsed lung, whereas the collapse tends to be the described for the larger and more confluent area of collapse. But these both are used interchangeably. Both share the same pathophysiology, and the role of imaging is to confirm the collapse or atelectasis and to determine the cause of the collapse or atelectasis. Now the pathophysiology, and depending on the pathophysiology, the type of collapse. So first is the resorptive type. So what happens in the resorptive type? That is the obstructive. So as name suggests, there is a complete obstruction of the airway. So due to the obstruction, there is resorption of air in the alveoli within the capillary system. So slowly this result in the collapse, and the causes are the obstructive neoplasm, mucus plugging in the asthmatic patients, foreign body aspiration. So these are the causes of resorptive collapse or obstructive collapse. Now next is the passive collapse or relaxation collapse. As name suggests, there is a two pleura, that is the visceral or parietal pleura. So contact between these parietal and visceral pleura is disrupted with loss of normal negative pressure in between them, and the lung relaxes due to the natural elastic recoil. So due to the natural elastic recoil, lung contracts and fail to expand. So this is the passive or relaxation collapse. So in this pleural effusion, pneumothorax and diaphragmatic abnormality can lead to this passive or relaxation collapse. Now next is the compressive atelectasis or collapse. So in this, due to the space occupying lesion compressing the lung and forcing air out of the alveoli and fail to expand the lung. So causes are the pneumothorax, effusion and neoplasm. Now the cicatrization atelectasis or collapse. So this is due to the scarring or fibrosis of the lung parenchyma itself, and it is due to the granulomatous disease. Most common type is in our context is tuberculosis, necrotizing pneumonia and radiation fibrosis. Though any cause that cause the lung fibrosis lead to the cicatrization atelectasis. Now adhesive atelectasis. It is due to the deficiency of surfactant of the lung, and the next is the gravity dependent atelectasis. This is the physiological type. So dependent part of the lung shows some subsegmental lung collapse. As position changes, it resolves. So this is also categorized in gravity dependent atelectasis, and it has its role in clinical scenario. Sometimes it can mimic the pathological. So it has to differentiate it from the pathological collapse or atelectasis. Now in this image, we can see that there is obstruction in the right upper lobe bronchus leading to the resorptive collapse. In this case, we can see that there is a space occupying lesion or fluid within the pleural cavity causing the compression of the lung, and this lead to the compressive collapse. And in the Relaxation collapse also is the same, that is the fluid or anything in the pleural cavity and lead to the slow relaxation collapse. And the contraction collapse or cicatrization collapse, that is the pathology within the lung parenchyma itself or due to the fibrosis. This will lead to the loss of elastic property of the lung parenchyma and fail to expand and causing the lung collapse. So these are the pathology of collapse and their types. There are some special type of atelectasis like plate atelectasis, which we can see as the horizontal or oblique thin linear radiopacity or discoid radiopacity, which is due to the subsegmental collapse. Causes are most commonly at the postoperative hypoventilation state or sedation. So these are the subsegmental collapse. Another one is the round atelectasis, because round its shape round, it mimics the lung mass and it is mostly in the subpleural region with the pleural tail sign, that is the part of pleura invaginated within the this collapsed lung. And this is the special type because it needs the differentiation from the lung mass, so its definitive diagnosis done by the CT scan. So this is due to the mostly asbestos related pleuritis or chronic pleural disease. So these are some special type of atelectasis. Now the signs of atelectasis. There are some certain signs which cause the help in the diagnosis of the atelectasis and differentiate it from the consolidation. So there are some direct sign. Which what are the direct sign? That is the interlobar fissure displacement. That is the this, as we can see in this image, there is a interlobar fissure displacement. Now crowding of the vessels. We can see that these radio opaque structures are the vessels. As we can compare in the lower lobe, there is a crowding of vessels and air bronchogram crowding. So as we can see there, there is a these linear structures are the air bronchogram. These are the crowded. These are the direct sign of uh, atelectasis or collapse. Now the indirect sign of atelectasis. There are certain signs which can help in diagnosis. Also, these are the opacification, that is the radio opaque lung field, compensatory hyperinflation of the contralateral or adjacent lung parenchyma. So we can see that in this image there is a compensatory hyperinflation of the left lung, displacement of the mediastinum or heart or trachea. As we can see this is the trachea displaced to the right side and mediastinum is also shifted to the right side. And in the segmental collapse we can see that the hilum is pulled towards the collapsed side. And uh, so we can see this in the lobar or segmental collapse. Elevation of diaphragm, we can see this in entire lung collapse or in the lower lobe collapse, elevation of the diaphragm. And rib crowding, so on the side of collapse rib is crowded, as we can see in this image. And the shifting granuloma sign, this is the sign which denotes that the previously visualized pathology and displays location of this in the current image. So it requires to the compare with the old X-ray image and with the current. Depending on the anatomical division, collapse can be divided into the entire lung collapse, lobar collapse, segmental collapse, and subsegmental collapse. So I will describe here the lobar collapse. Lobar collapse is the involvement of the one lobe. So here I will describe about the right upper lobe collapse, which shows the certain feature like elevated horizontal fissure, triangular opacity in upper zone, and tracheal shift to the ipsilateral side. So these are the feature of right upper lobe collapse. This is the triangular opacity in right upper zone with the horizontal fissure pulled up and trachea is shifted to the right side. So these are the feature of right upper lobe collapse. In right middle lobe collapse, there is a loss of right heart border and waist shaped opacity behind the heart. This is the right middle lobe collapse, showing triangular opacity causing obscuration of the right heart border, that is the Silhouette sign, and it also causes the downward shift of the horizontal fissure. In right lower lobe collapse, there is a triangular opacity behind the diaphragm and downward shift of oblique fissure and obscuration of the diaphragmatic outline. So in this image, we can see that the downward shift of the oblique fissure with the obscuration of right hemidiaphragm. So this is the feature of right lower lobe collapse. Now left upper lobe collapse, that is the haziness in upper lung, shift of the major fissure upward, and also tracheal shift to the left side. So this, in this image we can see that the opacity left upper zone with the tracheal shift to the left side. In lower lobe collapse, that is lower left lower lobe collapse, then this is posterior opacity and loss of diaphragmatic outline, downward shift of oblique fissure, and also there is a obscuration of descending aorta outline, as we can see in this image, triangular opacity behind the heart causing the obscuration of the uh, descending aorta outline. So this is all about the lower collapse. Some specific sign of collapse like Luft-Sichel sign, which is the crescent sepia lucency in between the collapsed lung and mediastinum. It is mostly seen in the left upper lobe collapse, and it is lucency is due to the interposed lung in between the collapsed and the collapsed lung and mediastinum, which is the part of the superior segment of left lower lobe. And the juxtaphrenic peak sign is the tenting of diaphragm due to the accessory fissure or inferior pulmonary ligament being pulled up by the collapsed lower lobe, and it can be seen in both lung, that is the right or the left, but in the lower lobe. So this is the juxtaphrenic peak sign. Now another is the golden ear sign. This sign is due to the hilar mass or mass in the hilum causing the obscuration of the or obstruction of the upper lobe segmental bronchus, mostly in the right side, and due to the collapse of the upper lobe there is the pulling of the horizontal fissure forming the reverse S shape. So it is also called as the golden ear sign or reverse S sign. So this is the sign of the right upper lobe collapse due to the hilar mass. Now Shell sign. The triangular opacity is seen in the collapsed lung. So this is called the Shell sign. Now mnemonic to remember for the collapse. This is, can be remembered by this fissure M mnemonic. This is the fissure displacement. F for fissure displacement, I for increased opacity, S for shifting of mediastinum, space loss, U for upward diaphragm, R for rib crowding, E for enlarged opposite lung, and M for mediastinal pool. So this is all about the fissure M, and it makes easy to remember the signs of collapse. Now we have to differentiate consolidation from the collapse. So this is the airway, trachea and bronchus seen in the right image. This is shifted to the left side due to the collapsed lung, and this line denotes the visceral pleura. So this is the collapsed left lung, and leading to the tracheal shift to the left side pull, and mediastinum is also pulled on the left side, and the hyperinflated lung field. So these are the sign of collapse, and opaque hemithorax can be seen, and there is a small area which will appear as a lucent area without bronchovascular marking. So this could be the pneumothorax, and collapse is probably due to the pneumothorax. So this is the all about the collapse. Now in consolidation we can see that the trachea and bronchus are central, bronchovascular marking, there is no any crowding and no volume loss. Mediastinum is midline. So this is the consolidation. This is all about the collapse. Now thank you. If you like this video, then like, comment and share, subscribe. Thank you.